saved all the letters that she wrote me during my pregnancy, and I brought them.
Oh, that's sweet.
I
wrote you letters.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have all the. So you and David during the pregnancy, both pregnancies, you wrote all these letters to me. Thinking about you, and then there's letters that you wrote after the babies were born with updates, and so I remember a whole file of all the things you wrote.
That was therapy for us.
It's therapy for me to read it. So I remember that, I had made the decision to place for adoption, and I had picked you guys, and Gladney gives us all these different options, about open versus, I don't know, I guess closed would be the word. I don't like that word, but the different levels of involvement for adoption. And I don't remember what you guys wanted, but I chose kind of what they called then years ago was a closed adoption. And it was not because, I didn't want to know about you. That's opposite, but I just felt like it was too emotional for me to see you again. So I know that there's stories of birth moms who get to, they do birthday parties, they visit, kind of like how we have this relationship now that birth moms are involved. And I love that when families can do that. I was afraid I couldn't do it. And I was scared because I didn't want to become too involved, and I didn't want to have to grieve every time I said goodbye again. And so I told you guys I just wanted some pictures. I think we did a lot in the beginning when they were first born, because I know that grief is really, I was scared. Once a month. It was a lot. But then after that it was once a year.
Yes.
And so then I just wanted yearly updates and how they were doing, and they always send me stuff. So it was, for me, it was what I needed. And, hopefully you understand that it wasn't a negative thing, but it's what I needed at that time. Adoption is such a weird grief because it's kind of like a death. So you feel like you lost something. And so you grieve this death, but what you lost isn't dead. And so then there was this fear of, are their children healthy? Are they sick? Is something major wrong? Would anyone ever call me and tell me if my children died?
Right.
I used to have that fear that I would find out years later that my birth children died. They were young and no one ever told me, or just something tragic happened. And so knowing that you could send me these, they're meeting their developmental milestones and they're healthy, and this, it was helping me as healing. Obviously, it's really different when you talk to a birth parent about their beginning their adoption story, and it's not just this ability for me to list advice, because I'm going to tell you it's a hard process and everyone deals with emotions differently. There isn't a rule book on what you're going to feel and how you get through it. But what I'm going to say is that one of the things that I try to focus on, and it's really funny because I was the most immature, reckless, crazy kid who's getting pregnant, but for some reason I had this random moment of clarity and maturity because I remember writing this down. I thought, when you think about having a baby, there's my selfish side, how much fun it is to have the baby, and I love them, right? But then I wanted to make a list of the pros and cons for my child. So living with me versus being adopted. And so that was something that I did to separate what I wanted and my own feelings from what was best. And it was really tough, but I will tell you that there was a moment early on when I looked at those lists and I realized this is my answer, because if I don't think about what I want, and I focus only on what's best for the child that I'm carrying, it was very obvious the adoption was better. And the other part of the advice I would say is do lots of grieving. I talked to babies, I wrote things out, I bought special things, I have all these little memorabilia. I had ornaments made with my adopted, my birth children's name on them. So all these things I did. I had blankies that I slept with. It's just weird, but all the grief that I planned for, and before and after, and do it, and don't be ashamed.